G'day. How are you? Fucking autofocus on this thing. Oh my god. It's worse than a fucking webcam. Jesus. Need a new lens. Whoops. Hang on. I'm supposed to take don't take drugs, children. But I just remembered that I forgot to take my medication. How are you all? You know what to call this thing. I don't even know if I'm streaming. It's mostly just me catching up, saying hello, because we're about to move house in 2 weeks. And everything's a little bit crazy, so I thought, hey, let's just get a stream done. But talk a little bit about fucking just a few jokes and a few rants about fucking crypto and stuff and how it's like taken over my fucking life. And it's annoying. And you know why? I was talking to Paul about this last night. And it's like both of us have been in like the tech industry or like the internet. We're early adopters, like morning and stuff, right? Sorry, not morning. Fucking, oh my god, I have not had enough coffee or fucking sleep. I haven't been very well. You can probably see it in my face. I'm not well. But that's okay. For those that have been asking, we don't know. We don't know. Okay? I don't know what's going on. That's I don't know. It could be serious and deadly and could be nothing and whatever. It's definitely not nothing because I think that, peeing blood clots is generally not a benign type of thing. But tell me if the sound fucks up and stuff because I fucked around with settings again. Mostly because I am trying to move and everything and my setup I have to just reconfigure everything as soon as I fucking want to stream and blah. Anyway, hi everyone. So, but it's pretty funny. Okay. Oh, Sim's here. Awesome. You're going to enjoy this fucking ride. And okay, so for those that I'm going to show a few YouTube videos. This is why I like tell me about the sound because I'm on a Mac, it's a fucking hassle to play desktop audio. So, and I've put a ducking source in and all this stuff. I'm gonna purpose build a fucking studio, room properly with everything, just so I can just put one fucking switch and everything work again, as was the plan here. But thankfully, we've secured a long-term lease and a very, very nice landlord, and he planted fruit trees and shit. Like, seriously, how good is it? Here we go. All right, I know I'm going to talk about crypto and stuff, but it is just a catch-up stream. Okay, let me talk about the title of the stream briefly, okay? Did my microphone just max out on you and distort a second ago? So if I do this, does that distort? Because I've got it on an arm. See, I've got a boom arm here, and I may have brought it too close, and no. Okay, should be okay. I just need to have it so that. I'm not an audio engineer. I have been too busy learning about fucking crypto, and that's the funny part. But anyway, so quick life update. I passed uni despite all of the odds, okay, because everything fucking went to shit. I haven't been well, but we also managed to find a house with a good landlord. But it's a sign of a good landlord where the old tenant is actually planting fruit trees for us right now as they're leaving the house. It's like, that's really fucking nice. So that's pretty cool. So a very nice guy, and I'm optimistic that things will work out. So my cynicism about people is a little, my cynicism is back to a normal amount. Let's put it that way. All right. So, but basically, I don't know, this whole fucking Doge thing, right? I've always been aware. Oh, that's right. That's where I started. So Paul and I were fucking laughing. We were busting a gut last night. Because Paul casually mentioned NFTs to me like some time ago. And I roughly know, about crypto art, the potential for the blockchain. Anybody who's been in the business as long as I have and worked with like artists and creators and been trying to solve those problems is familiar with the potential possibilities when it comes to, like how artists make money without being fucked by the people who don't make anything, and their making of things is how their exploitation of those who do create is their creation. Is basically, how can I create being the most psychopathic, exploitative prick ever? And that's been an ongoing problem. That's just, that's Marx. Funnily enough, that's Marx's critique of capitalism, is that those that produce and those are exploited by those who do not produce. And those who do, who do not produce take advantage and exploit and starve out. And so anyone who's a musician or an artist who's been fucked over by a record label or whatever is excited by these things. So anyway, so Paul just casually mentioned NFTs, and I hadn't really looked into it beyond sort of the superficial until a few days ago again. And I saw that Grimes had posted some stuff. Now, I'll explain this stuff because this is actually meant to be funny, not boring, okay? Because it's actually more about my journey with crypto and how funny it is, right? I don't want to be, maybe it's just, I just want to roast the crypto community because it's funny as fuck, okay? Because what happens is, and I also want to talk about what happens when someone who's like, we peacock, right? Paul and I are like, well, we've been in the business for fucking, we built the internet. We built the fucking internet. We started in the 90s, and in my day, we were walking through the snow with holes in our shoes for fucking 10 kilometers uphill both ways, right? And I've always, again, the blockchain, I think, is one of those great opportunities. I've always seen it as an opportunity for a do-over because we were fucking wrong about the internet. And that's part of the reason why I just got so burnt out, is that I started my first business because I became passionate about, before this, but MySpace days, building that first wave of sort of when musicians and artists and creators really got online. And I saw the corporate war. It's not that my channel, I was talking to Paul about this. It's not that my channel is necessarily pivoting to crypto. It's just sort of where it kind of fits into the bigger story of why I got so disillusioned and confused by what the internet was supposed to be. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. And yeah, Cardano, ADA, the coin. Fuck it, it's not a coin. It's a whole platform. It is killing it. I really like it. But I'll talk about that a little bit too, because NFTs really excite me. I'll explain this. But what I want to do is talk about the funny shit first, because it starts with the Doge coin and buying Dogecoin and GME and being just sort of, if you're generally anti-establishment and generally sort of fuck these middle management fucks, then you should be following crypto. If you're at all disillusioned with the man, then I think that you should start to not take a peripheral interest in blockchain, but work towards making sure, and this, feel free to clip this. I think I might clip this and mint it. But I'll talk about this stuff. Like, again, I haven't formed thoughts. This is a riffing stream. But I think it is really, really, really important, as somebody who was in the social sciences and built, what I thought was the first internet and what was possible for the internet, right? Actually, hang on. I'm actually, you know what? This is another side deviation, but let's go through it. Declaration of Internet from the old days. Okay. A Declaration of the Independence of Cyberspace. Okay, we'll talk about that. But what I think this is, if there is any wisdom that I can impart as a veteran, okay, is that we very much risk making the exact same mistakes that we made with Internet 1.0, the exact same mistakes that we made with Web 2.0. The catastrophic clusterfuck that was corporate Web 3.0. Web 4.0, I think, is where we are at the moment, where we're just figuring stuff out. And Web 5.0, if we get this right, and they're not terms, I'm just talking about, this is just a passage of time, right? But Web 5.0, fully decentralized, anonymized internet, where there's freedom and it's you know, with Fed. I've talked about a lot of these alternatives before. Please take an interest in this if you can. And this is where I would really like to start doing more work and more speaking, because I worry that tech guys are not heeding the exact same warnings that I've been giving them for 25 years. It's just in a different fucking suit. And so this one worries me. Okay. So what I want to talk about is because what I'm seeing is something that starts, again, we all get excited like we fucking did. No, we all got excited about the World Wide Web and how it would be fucking free and how artists could own their stuff and how, you know, if you made things, if you make anything, if you make things, okay, you're a creator, you're a builder. I've talked about builders versus destroyers, okay? You've got, I would say there's a third class. You've got builders, you've got destroyers, and then you've got exploiters, okay? And it's the exploiters that we need to always be vigilant about, okay? And the people that try to control and centralize and exploit the makers, okay? The destroyers can go fuck themselves. The destroyers, they're going to stay on fucking Twitter with their fucking stupid ass blue checks destroying fucking think pieces. Who gives a fuck about them? They're not healthy. Let's ignore them, okay? Just laugh at them. They're idiots, all right? But it's creators versus exploiters, and this is something that the early internet really struggled with, and it was where we went wrong. We went wrong with the centralization of something that was supposed to be fucking decentralized in the first place. Okay, so if you think about, and that's sort of the premise of what I want to talk about, but it's also just, it's funny because we go into this with a little bit of arrogance, and this is this thing I think it's just the aging process, okay? But there is wisdom in age and experience, and even if I don't fully understand this new thing, I have learned so much from the mistakes of the old thing that I think that it's really important that even if you don't just get in on the fucking full crypto bro train, that from a governance and policy that you start to participate in the conversation about what the internet should look like from this point on. Because we're at a really critical point, you know, politically, geopolitically, economically, you know, and I'm just seeing it. And Clubhouse, all these fucking they sit around just getting boners over how they can, yet again, fuck the creators, okay? How they can own everything, how they can fucking, you know, redesign humanity and fuck us over and fuck our kids, and it's not unrelated to the gender shit. It's just, that's just such a small piece of everything that I just, you know, I haven't forgotten. But this is why I think that, you know, there is that if you're a feminist, you need to take an interest in things like the blockchain, because it allows you to organize anonymously. It allows you to build trust and build independent economies. Okay, if J.K. Rowling decided to release fucking turf coin and NFT all of her shit and or allow fan art that allowed for, you know, her to share fan art and then permanently redistribute royalties to people. There's so many applications for blockchain, and it's boring. It's boring. It's not a series of tubes. It's a series of blocks. But it's boring. But what's funny, okay, it's actually, you know that thing where it's just an engineer thing, where they hide something that's quite a simple thing to get your head around, okay? But what it is it's an opportunity to cut out the middleman, okay? And if you don't think that middle managers are not going to fight this shit and corporations are not going to try and fucking take this over tooth and nail and basically create private blockchains that act as fucking middle managers that fucking dole out social scores and all of that sort of shit, you're being naive. But there is an opportunity to make sure that we hold people accountable for this and make sure that we get a chance to have a do-over with the internet. So Paul and I were sitting there last night and we're like, well, we know this thing. I know how blockchain fucking works. And, you know, like I've bought a bit of Dogecoin and, you know, a couple of GME shares in Solidarity. And I roughly understand crypto, but I've never had enough money. I've always been so fucked by the exploiters that, you know, I never really actually had money to invest. It's just been, I make enough to live and that's it, right? I'm not exactly sitting, I think my biggest asset is my car and my camera, right? I don't have a lot of assets. But it's just like, so we're sitting there and because Paul's pretty smart, right? He's pretty fucking smart. And we go, oh, we built the internet. We understand what this thing is. It's fucking fine. I get it. I understand it. And it's just amazing because navigating starts with a fucking crypto dog, right? Starts with Doge. And then you sort of head over into fucking, it's like this giant fucking corn maze. And then you're going through the corn maze, right? You go through this corn maze and you turn left and you go here and you see a fucking swarm of wasps and you're like, no, wrong fucking direction. Okay, I'm going to stay out of that corner. And then you go, oh, look over here. Oh, look, there's a dude dressed up as Anonymous. And then you go through this corn maze and then you fucking hit the Rubik's Cube part where you need to solve 3,000 Rubik's Cubes in order to understand it. And then I fucking, like, just as simple as like, okay, so register your TLD, which again, I know top level domain. I know what a top level domain is. I've been on the internet for 25 years. I fucking sell them. I'm a wholesaler. I think I'll try and register my blockchain top-level domain, shall I? And then I go to do it and I don't fucking understand how to do it. And you go, fuck, but I understand the internet. I know I just want crypto guys to know I'm joking, okay? I just want you to know that I'm joking. Okay? Just like, I do understand it, but the crypto journey is a bit like going through this fucking hedge maze. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because actually I'm going to show you a couple of videos and why I think it's very important that anybody who's interested in politics and the role big tech plays is that you need to really look. It's one of those things I'm struggling to. You know how, okay, here you go. Here's another really bad analogy. Okay, but like you can be, I'm not a Christian or religious, but you know, let's assume Jesus bot has fucking entered the chat, shall we? There's people who can, Marx. Let's use Karl Marx as an example. I know my Marx inside out, okay, word for word. I would consider myself a Marx scholar. Okay, but all you need to know is the fucking thing where the way that I explain Marx is that basically, okay, he believed that basically you can only fuck with the workers for so long before they get fucking pissed off and chop your head off. And it can, or like they get pissed off, and that can either be done violently or it can either be done through negotiation and collaboration. That's what, again, you just need someone, if you understand something really well, you can explain it pretty simply, okay? Now, I'm going to block look at this. Okay, TERFs. fucking radical feminists, I'm actually going to leave these bots because I'm going to show you, again, fucking the bots. You think that the gender bots are bad, man. Check this shit out. Check this shit out. Look at this. Super chats, please. Super chats would be nice. Also, I've been setting up an online store. Actually, I've been setting up an online store on my website. I use my personal website to test plugins and tech and, you know, scripts and stuff, because obviously I can't do it on client sites or anything like that. And I've been looking at what's it called? Coin payments, payment gateway for WooCommerce, which allows you to accept crypto as payment. My merch, I actually can accept crypto payments in my store. Now the design's fucked because I'm working on plugins and stuff, but I do like to work in a live environment with a live checkout, because sandboxes and stuff, you can do due diligence, but you know, in something like crypto, it needs to be out in the wild. So feel free to buy some fucking shit or donate to my fucking thing and test my checkout. But yes, okay. So Mr. Crypto's here. He's one of my he's the one who made me sort of open to Twitch. I kind of resisted Twitch because the only time I ever streamed on Twitch, I just got fucking raided by a bunch of kids, and it was just really funny. But anyway, so so basically, okay, so Paul and I, 25, but you know, we got 50 years of tech between us. We've both been coding 25 years. We understand the internet. And you know that thing where you realize, and we went through this with our parents, where your parents are like, oh, I knew when music was good. And then they just stopped. I've always refused to freeze in time generationally and tried to sort of embrace new ways of thinking to a point. You can't change sex, okay? Science-based shit, people. Okay, but new ways of thinking, new ideas. I consider myself quite progressive as a thinker, okay? But I've always just resisted middle age and that middle age idea that I'm determined to understand this, because for those that don't know my background, a lot of the reason I started my first business, it was called Link Artist. I still own the domain. I really actually, yeah, anyway. And it started through being a fan of musicians and working, and somehow I ended up with some famous people and famous clients and ended up building fan communities, and I know fan communities better than how to be good to fans, how to make money off of not off of fans, make money with fans and build a community based on the true fans principle and all that stuff. It's my passion. Then I saw the suits take over, and I just gradually over time, my business I drifted into corporate. Taking corporate clients, you know, all of those things. And I got burnt out a few years ago. But now, you know, with NFTs and stuff, I'm more excited again because I see an opportunity for people to own their shit again. And it's like that, you know, no matter how many times people who make things try to just live and make a buck, like that's through history. The great artists, like you'll know, like Vincent van Gogh and was it Van Gogh? You know, died with zero money. The only reason that the great thinkers, you know, they had patrons, or they studied under one of the great, under a richer artist, you know, so like the Ninja Turtles and those sorts of things, like Donatello, Leonardo. Da Vinci's a slightly different example, but I can't remember my art history, but basically the only real way that an artist could survive throughout history, okay, was to fucking take money from someone else and usually suck their dick. Okay. That's the fucking thing. That's the reality. Okay. And if you're a woman, well, good luck to you. Okay. You disappear. You disappear forever in the history of art. You are not in the canon. You are kicked out of the canon. The canon. Is that why it's called the canon? Because it looks like a giant dick? I wonder about that. Okay, anyway, for the crypto guys, here we go. Cross-cultural exchange. I'm a social scientist and I know my history and stuff. I'm referring to art canon, which is the story of art as told by the lizard people. And all of the very important men of history. Anyway. Maybe it is. Actually, there we go. That's why it's called the canon. Because it looked like a dick and balls. Anyway. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah, Paul and I were in our lounge room. And we're both like, because I'm 42 in a month. Okay. Hang on. You know what? Fuck you, bots. Also, can I just say, because I'm attracting fucking people who are like, you know, clearly loaded with cash because they make all their money on Doge. All these bot farms and shit. I have a Patreon tier, okay? And a series of Patreon tiers, one of which is the top tier is $2 million a month. The second top tier is $250 a month, and that one allows you to masturbate with my consent. So if you're not paying me $250 a month to masturbate to my videos, then it is without consent, and I can cancel you for rape. What the fuck am I doing today? I'm tired. I haven't been well. I'm on painkillers. Okay, so... Oh, yeah. We were in our lounge room. Both of us. I'm 42. Paul's 43. Okay. We've been on the internet since the 90s and we were all just like, fucking, we're in it. We love Doge. Like, we're just big fans of Doge, mostly because, you know, Doge is kind of that. This is why I understand why Musk loves Doge so much. Because Musk, like I've said in previous videos, Musk is kind of an old school dude like us who is infinitely smarter because he understands that the series of tubes became a series of blocks. And apparently blocks are better than tubes. Oh, God, I got so many jokes. So, here we go. I thought of this joke. I can't actually know. Hang on. Let me write the words down. Did I write it? I didn't write it down. Hang on. Nah, it'll come to me. It's a hash joke. Anyway, so I thought of it, and I was basically like, okay, why is crypto? Nah, I'll have to. It left my brain. I'll come back to it. Plenty of fucking time. If a dude who eats bagels is popular, I like Bruce. Bruce is my new guy. Fucking look at Bruce. Dude, this middle. Okay, can I just say I'm concerned about Bruce's prostate. He's a dude. I think he's in his 60s. He fucking streams for 7 hours a day on the stock market and all that sort of stuff. Right? Never has a piss. I'm like, dude, you should get that checked. Okay. Anyway, so we're out on our couch and we just looked at each other and I showed Paul this video. And I'll show you the video. Do bear with me. Okay. I'll show it to you now. Actually, no. First, what I'll do is I will share the Declaration of the Independence of Cyberspace. Okay, because I think that this is really important. I didn't prepare to share that, did I? I only prepared to share videos. Let me have a look. Hang on. LG. Hang on, let me just hide any compromising fucking book drafts and shit. Hang on one sec. Client shit. My calendar. Hang on a second. Okay. So, just in case something weird goes wrong. Okay. Hang on a sec. So, Let's just move that there. All right. I just got it. Talk amongst yourselves. Bots. Do you know what we do? Actually, on my Discord, join my Discord. The tayloo.xyz should take you there. It's a redirect. It fucking expires every so often, but it should work. Is that when bots show up, what we do is we try to break them, and we've had, it was quite funny. Anyway, so the Declaration of Independence of Cyberspace is a widely distributed early paper on the applicability or lack thereof of government on the rapidly growing internet. Okay, this is old school shit that I come from. Okay, commissioned for pioneering internet project 24 Hours in Cyberspace. It was written by John Perry Barlow, a founder of the EFF, Americans will be familiar with that, the Electronic Frontier Foundation, and published online in February 8th, 1996 from Davos, Switzerland. It was written. Where's the fucking content? All right, dumbass, where is it? Hang on. Declaration. Learn to type. Declaration. Look, I'm already getting ads for fucking crypto cards and shit because I use the Brave browser. Hang on. Declaration of Cyberspace. Remember cyberspace? That was awesome. Where's the original? Can we find the original? EFF. Here we go. Is it there? The actual document? Because we've got to keep it old school. Oh, I wanted it to have glitter text. Okay. A Declaration of the Independence of Cyberspace. Governments of the industrial world, you weary giants of flesh and steel, I come from cyberspace, the new home of mind. On behalf of the future, I ask you of the past to leave us alone. You are not welcome among us. You have no sovereignty where we gather. I love this shit. We have no elected government. It sounds like... Who does that fucking... Mr. Crypto, I don't know if you're still here, but who the fuck does that sound like? It sounds like fucking Anonymous, and they're so dramatic. They're like a Marilyn Monroe quote in a fucking, like V for Vendetta mask. Yeah, let's roast Anonymous, Taya. Yep. Cool enemy to have. I think next I should draw pictures of Muhammad and fucking roast ISIS. What do you think? You think that would go well for me? I'm glad I'm moving. Okay. We have no elected government. Did I get to that point? Yeah. We have no elected government, nor are we likely to have one. So I address you with no greater authority than that with which liberty itself always speaks. I declare the social space we are building to be naturally independent of the tyrannies you seek to impose on us. You have no moral right to rule us, nor do you possess any methods of enforcement we have true reason to fear. It's actually quite chilling that how much, and I know I've talked about this a lot, just how much this corporate, like AOL portal and the corporate interference and the PPC model invaded what we envisioned for the internet. Now, despite all this sort of, anarchy porn that's going on here, I mean, this is techno-anarchist, this is anarchist shit, right? And you know that I tend to lean in that area to a point. I am as much as of an anarchist as the police who knock on the door, if I say I'm an anarchist, will bear without fucking putting me in handcuffs. So I'm just the right amount. I'm a libertarian, right? I believe in civil rights. But I don't, let's just say, like George Carlin, I'm a bit of an entropy fan as well. I like it when there's a little bit of chaos. But I'm also non-violent, all those sorts of things. I believe in collaboration and that sort of stuff. So, governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed, which we've talked about before if you're familiar with this channel. Noam Chomsky and Edward Herman, manufacturing consent is literally referring to the concept of the consent of the governed. That's a principle from political science and philosophy, which is that in order to rule over people, we give select people our consent That's called, it's like the social contract. It's called a social contract or various other things. We give governments our consent to rule on our behalf because basically there's too many of us. And if you're a project manager in IT with any fucking vintage, you know that a meeting with more than 6 people is hard enough, let alone trying to rule 7 billion people. That's why I say I empathize with Twitter and Facebook, right? Because seriously, like, I mean, who do you want to govern fucking 7 billion people at any given moment? Have you seen Twitter lately? Have you seen that shit? Now, there's fucking bots. So there's like 7 billion people plus 27,000 trillion fucking bots as well. Not fun. So, consent to the governed. We go, nah, fuck it. We're tired. We worked all day. I really can't be asked turning up to meetings all the time. So how about you do it because you're a fucking nerd and you like this stuff. We give you, smart person, our consent to make decisions on our behalf. We trust you to tell us the truth. We trust you to act in our best interests, and we therefore delegate our authority and consent to be governed by you in our best interests. Okay? Manufacturing Consent by Noam Chomsky and Edward Herman. Another dense fucking read. Okay? But again, like the series of tubes turned into a series of fucking blocks. That's all you need to know. With this, basically, Manufacturing Consent, the title of that book refers to consent of the governed, and what the basic argument of manufacturing consent is that that's all bullshit, and that consent is actually not given anymore, and that the role that power, government, and the media in particular, because, you know, Chomsky's a linguist and Herman's an what's his discipline? Economist. I believe he's an economist. Behavioral economics is a big area. Gad Saad, if you know about Gad Saad is a behavioral economist as well. He talks about choice theory, and basically this idea, and a big thing in psychology. Sorry, crypto nerds, I'm just trying to annoy the bots. I'm trying to get to the Doge to the moon rocket people to pay me to shut up. $2 million a month on my Patreon, top tier, $2 million, and I'll stop talking. Okay. Do you know what I should do? I would love to just do a 24/7 stream and basically just keep going and Abe Simpson this fucking bad boy until someone pays me $2 million a month to stop. That'd be amazing. Assuming I'm not dying of kidney failure. Other than that, you know. But also, I would actually, for those that are considering the top tier, I would like you to know. Fun fact. Okay. Hang on. Patreon.com creator. Hang on. Patreon.com/Tayalu. Right. Personally, I prefer direct donations and fucking crypto these days. But still, girls gotta hustle. Where's my tiers? Okay. I don't have a huge amount of patrons either, see? So I keep it private. But look at my public page. Look, hang on. So thank you for all my patrons, by the way. I appreciate every one of you. Where's my fucking tiers? Look, here's my... Fucking hell! Look. Tree Fitty. The Friend Zone. Silent and afraid but supportive. So this one's for people who... Because I'm a big advocate of speaking truth and speaking, talking about certain issues that I think need to be spoken about, that requires bravery, that a lot of people don't have the luxury of being brave. I'd just say, hey, if you want to do that. I'd just like to point, they changed it to fucking AUD as well. This is Australian dollars. But look, that one's going to be used for courses soon. This one, it's 3, okay, so in Australian dollars it's gone up. So it's either that or 60 trillion Doge. This one's the shut me up tier, right? So you get to have an opinion on what I say, whether I swear or have me care if you're offended or whatever. And I added this one just for Jesus bot. Jesus bot can pay me to find Jesus. But do join my Discord. And you don't need to be a patron to join my Discord, but you do get like access to sort of the cunt bubble is what we call it. Special thing. Okay. But what I just find this hilarious, this part. $2 million a month. But I just would like to emphasize that if you pay annually, you get 15% off. So if you pay me $2 million in advance, there's a very good discount for you. Okay. Okay. I don't know why I fucking deviated. We're having fun here. Also, I've been watching other streams, okay, and I'm taking the pressure off myself. Fucking Tim Dillon. I stole his joke. Can women own Bitcoin? That's Tim Dillon joke. I want to make sure that he gets credit for that fucking joke. It is the funniest fucking thing ever. He just goes into Clubhouse and just starts conversations and asks questions like, do you think women should own Bitcoin? It's so funny. Okay, anyway, so back to the Declaration of Independence. So I was talking about, so when you talk about the consent of the governed, this is a lot of this stuff is what we imagine. Now, let's put the history of the actual internet aside. What we've got to do is, I think I don't know whether someone needs to pay me to write a book about this shit or a series of books, or I need to just get enough income, become a patron, and help me to just make a livable wage so that I can then just get everything like internet history and all that stuff out of this fucking head, because there's a lot of political history around the internet being, like that, yes, a tool that was created by the Department of Defense and government departments, and all of that stuff, that's always been there. It's always been created. It's been created by the institutions, but we had a vision for a utopia. And then the corporations and the thirsties and the fucking hustle bros and the fucking, every cunt you ever fucking hated on LinkedIn, okay? Posting some sort of thing about how he fucking threw a chip at a fucking homeless man and here's a selfie with that dude, okay? Those people, right, yes, I do. Do you know what? Marx, here we go. Here's, for those that are crypto people, because I like to think that I'm educational here, and I want to build bridges between tech and politics, because I do believe that they are, when we work together, because I'm obviously political scientist, trading as a psychologist, fucking in tech 25 years, and a fucking speak engineer to a fucking point. To a point. Enough to know when you're being fucking evil and saying evil shit, okay? I speak enough engineer to know when you're fucking evil, okay? But what I just passionately believe that if we all start to learn from each other and hear each other out, and this is, and we can build this stuff, and crypto excites me because of that, because it represents this stuff, okay? Now, those that are new to my stream, where I share a fucking article, will realize that basically what I do is I put it up, I digress, I rant, I tell a joke, and you read the thing your fucking self. But let's move on. So, governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Okay? You have neither solicited nor received ours. We did not invite you. You do not know us, nor do you know our world. This fucking sounds like anonymous, man. Fucking anonymous. This shit's like a Marilyn Monroe quote for fucking terrorists. Put the mask on. I need to get the mask. I'm going to be back in 1 minute. I'll be back in 1 minute. Give me 2 minutes. 1 minute! I said 1 minute. Put the mask on after you walk into the office. You ready? If you cannot accept us at our worst, then you don't deserve us at our best. I can't breathe in this fucking thing. We are anonymous. Hang on a sec, I can't see. Let me get rid of the screen because, just in case this ends up being a thing. Hang on. Look. If you cannot accept us. What is it? I'm going to try and remember the quote. If you cannot accept me at my worst. Now I can see. Then you most certainly do not deserve me at my best. All right, I'm going to be dead by okay. I don't have a VPN. Fucking go for it. I'm moving house. You got a week. Oh my god. Fucking idiot. I don't even know if that was worth the fuck. Yes, I could see you all roaring with laughter. Okay, so where are we? Okay. So, cyberspace does not lie within your borders. Do not think you can build it as though it were a public construction project. You cannot. And they fucking did. It's an act of nature, and it grows itself through our collective actions. You have not engaged in our great and gathering conversation, nor did you create the wealth of our marketplaces. You do not know our culture, our ethics, or the unwritten codes that already provide our society more order than could be obtained by any of your impositions. This is boring and long. Anyway, you claim there are problems among us that you need to solve. You use this claim as an excuse to invade our precincts. Many of these problems don't exist. Where there are real conflicts, where there are wrongs, we will identify them. Anyway, fucking, okay. This is boring. This was a long fucking manifesto. Okay. You can read it. Basically, its significance was, okay, it was famous, it was distributed, it fucking became the thing. It became the ideas, okay? There's also other things, right? Cyberspace, the Hacker Manifesto, you know, all those sorts of things. Okay, now, we are anonymous. We are a region. Forgive and forget. Expecto Patronum. With a 15% discount if you pay up front. Fucking, oh my God. Wouldn't that be amazing? Okay, so here's a way Elon Musk could do something really cool for me and funny at the same time, which is to fucking do that. I don't think he would, but anyway, whatever. Because he's not an idiot. Anyway, just in case you're wondering, this mask, if you're not a gamer, it's from Borderlands 3. It's not the collectible version. It's the cheap plastic EB Games version that we got, that people got when I got lipstick on the inside of it. That's funny. Yeah. Anyway, you get it for free if you pre-ordered the disc and the physical media. And I was like, fuck that. No, I'm not ordering physical media. So I went in and I was like, you know, I'm a girl. I like that. Can I have one, please? And he gave it to me. So if only my ability to charm the nerds meant that they would, you know, anyway. So, yes, I do have somebody who pays to masturbate. Leon. No. I'm not going to say your real name. Whatever your name is. There is someone who pays. He hasn't done it, and I'd rather he didn't tell me about it if he did. I'm just saying, pervert patron, I do have one of those. Okay, so what was I going to do? Oh, yeah, I was going to show you videos. So, hang on, crypto. So, okay. You fucking idiot, Taya. Jesus fucking Christ. All right. I am female. Jibs me. Female privilege. No. It's reparations, motherfucker. From all the tech dudes who have like fucking... Okay, this is how we get back on topic. Also, I'm going to need to get some water because I forgot to give myself some water. And because I have some sort of whatever kidney disease going on, I should really drink some water. Anyway, so I'll take a break in a sec, just briefly, to get some water. But trust me, if this fucking represents female privilege, okay, nah. If this was Angelina Jolie, okay, I'd say, yeah, she's got tit privilege. Lucky her, good for her. All right, I've worked my fucking ass off. I was, 50 kilos heavier most of my life, okay? I'm still pretty fucking fat. And now I'm old, okay? And I worked my ass off getting fucking degrees and then postgrad degrees and now stupidly getting another fucking degree. Gamble responsibly, people. Only for people to not listen. But actually, let's get back on topic. Actually, I'm going to go get some water. I'm going to have a very quick break, like two minutes. I just got to go get some water. It's very important. I'll take literally like 30 seconds. I just got to go get water and I'll come back and then we'll get back onto topic. How's that sound? Okay. Let me just put a break. Let's just do break. Back. It's out of tune. Oh, that's out of tune. Oh, I'm going to do it because it's out of tune. Anyway. Okay, I'm back. So, it's out of tune because I was playing with alternate tunings and forgot to tune it back. Okay, so, what was I talking about? How long have I been streaming for? An hour. Fuck it. All right. So, I was going to say that I went to the toilet and got a drink. That comes out wrong. Anyway. I got the punchline for the joke, but I can't word the premise correctly. Might have to come back to it. So anyway, Paul and I were on our couch. Okay. On our couch. Oh, look. Clubhouse notifications. Cunt house. A club that you ain't in. Oh, I've lagged. Have I dropped some shit? Okay. Did I drop? Nope. Okay, we're good. Okay. Anyway. Yes, because dropping this quality fucking entertainment. Do you know what's cool? The Doge bots disappeared. Because I started talking about something else. Maybe I should start talking about how, despite all of the bots, all of them, all of those bots, there's other currencies. And also that maybe those same bots have been weaponized in order to coerce people and astroturf people into thinking that double mastectomies on a 12-year-old girl is wise. Maybe those same bots are also used to make it look like there's public outcry so that the dumb journos who get paid probably about $60 and have to churn out 8 fucking articles a day in order to eat. Or not, well, in order to order Uber Eats, because let's be honest, most of these dumb fucks are rich and they live in their parents' basement and are paid for. But they write the article. Okay, here we go. Let's roast some people. These guys, they write their articles so they can get money, legitimate currency, so they can go on Fiverr and exploit a third world country designer or logo designer and pay them $3 to create artwork for their OnlyFans that they don't want their parents to know that they have. Just saying. Venmo me. I don't know what Venmo is. I don't live in the United States. Welcome to Tay's crazy ass ASMR channel. I said that it was about fucking crypto. Now it's about... I do not know what it's about. So Paul and I were on our couch. And we're like, okay, so I understand crypto. So let me get this video up. So basically I got excited because I've talked about this. My first business, I started it, right? And it was very much around the true fans principle. If you're not familiar with that, this idea that if you could build it in the 90s or early 2000s, if you could get 1,000 true fans, and Patreon is very much built around that model. Okay, well, I've talked about this shit like 100 times. Just because I don't clip things doesn't mean I don't say them. Okay. But if you can get 1,000 die-hard fans that will buy everything that you produce and visit every concert and buy your merch and all that sort of stuff, and you've got 1,000 loyal fans that you can make a solid living without record labels, without the need for anything. Okay. Amanda Palmer started this, she really started this sort of stuff with Kickstarter. Ben Folds was one of the, again, I've talked about Ben Folds a few times now. Okay. My favorite musician, favorite human. Okay, he's not my favorite human because I don't really know him, but as avatars of human beings go in terms of what he creates, he's one of my favorite people. Okay, I can't seem to get my GIFs up. That's really annoying, isn't it? Because I needed to put a Ben Folds GIF up. And I can't. What happened? Hang on. The fuck? Stream Deck. You working? My computer's actually, my CPU is so fucked. Hang on. I need a new computer, man. There you go. Join my fucking thing so I can buy a decent computer. Actually, I've got an iMac that I can use when we move to the new house. But, yeah. Anyway. Fucking, like, GPU in this thing. And with Macs, because I've got a MacBook Pro, it works fine for sort of everyday art and stuff. But you need, for a MacBook Pro, you need to buy an external GPU. And that's when they're like fucking $1,000. Because you've got to buy like an external case and that's got an EPCI unit in it and stuff. And it's just like, fuck me. Jesus Christ. And also, there's no such thing. Okay, here's a thing. External casing. That is an external GPU that is also a hub. Okay? That also has Ethernet ports. And it's also a RAID device. I will pay for that. I suppose that's called buying a desktop PC. But at the same time, whatever. I think I'll just have to. If Paul and I, like we would like to buy two. Well, actually, I don't laugh. Nobody laugh at me. But it looks like I'm probably going to switch to get a Surface Pro. I'm going to switch. It's going to hurt. I'm just going to have to concede that Apple are not producing products as well as I would have liked. Yeah, I'm sorry, Philip. I'm not sure either. I'm just looking. Hang on, just give me a minute. Because my CPU performance is fine, so it must be my GPU. Hang on a sec. I'm just trying to shut down graphics and shit. Hang on. Something's chewing my graphics in the background. Just give me 1 second. Just give me, be patient. Sometimes with streams, actually Skitch, that'll be using my GPU. Hang on. Well, everything uses the GPU, but 1 sec. I'll turn off the stream timer because we don't need that. Turn off. Do I have Lightroom and Photoshop? Usually Lightroom and Photoshop are the things that fucking chew up my shit. I just need a new computer. Just everything's like needing to be force quit. Something's frozen. Hang on. 1 sec. Let me just get my activity monitor. And see what the culprit is. Sorry guys. We're just here for fun. We're having some fun. Do you know what's really interesting? Is watching lots of I've started to watch just a different, like, not culture wars streams or not tech streams in general, but just more sort of people who just stream and love it and just are here, and we turn up every day. Like Mr. Crypto was here briefly, and I really just like that there's the people that just show up every day, and props to the Valhalla crew as well, King Valhalla. And they stream around the clock. They bring a bunch of different people on. Like, that's where I think Discord could play a really great role. Let me just see what's going on here. Memory. I think my RAM's I think something's just shat the bed. Hang on a sec. Oh, we got the rainbow wheel, everyone. Will it blend? Let's see. Brave browser uses an awful lot of memory. That's interesting. I think it's actually do you know what I think it is? I think it's actually Patreon. Believe it or not, like Patreon has a lot of fucking like cookies and stuff. I can't run Patreon on Firefox and Brave because it blocks all the scripts, and it doesn't work unless you like whitelist a whole bunch of scripts. I think that might have been what the problem was. Brave browser. The Brave browser is using my GPU through. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to just give me a sec to switch to Firefox because I know that that's pretty low overhead. Hang on a sec. I apologize for this, guys. But, fuck me. What's going on with Brave? It's supposed to be a good browser. Okay. I think I might just switch to Safari. Always go with whatever the fucking, because the system is always optimized for, is it my plugins? Is it Zotero? Is it anonymous? Maybe anonymous. Didn't like The fact that I quoted a Marilyn Monroe quote. Fine. Fucking hell, Brave is killing my computer. Check this shit out. Look at this. Hang on. Where are we? Check this shit out. Look what Brave's doing. Fucking this renderer. I mean, that's just memory. But what's using the energy and shit? Okay, so Brave is shit in terms of resources. That's really interesting. Oh, I know. Okay. No, I know why. I know why I'm lagging. Fuck. Hang on. Motherfucker. Because I hadn't charged my I was at the last, my battery was my battery. I unplugged. Am I charging? Yep, okay. That's why. Okay. We're good. Oh, that's why. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Hang on. Fucking idiot, Taya. Sometimes, you know how that thing, this is... You know that thing where I was... Oh, here we go. This is actually on point. Okay. We're good. So, basically, you know that thing where you're like, I know the internet. You become, like, in your 40s. I know the internet. I know everything there is to know about the internet. I fucking live on it. You fucking idiot. And then you go, oh, let's go to the activity monitor and see what's going on and see what the performance impact is and, you know, all that shit. And turns out I just, like, borrowed the power charger from my MacBook to charge my headphones quickly because it's a... There you go. We're back. Now, this is the part where I explain blockchain. Oh, fucking hell. Okay. Fuck me. For $250 US a month. Okay. So, actually, it costs you a lot more than that. Ask Paul. All right. Sorry, guys. Thank you for your patience if you're still around. I can't see, actually, viewing figures. This restream thing seems to be not being very nice to me as well. Okay. Did I disconnect? Am I cool? Can someone just hit me a message, please, and tell me that I'm good? So anyway, so bots. Here's a link to my fucking website, and here's a link to my Discord. Here's a link to my Twitter. Oh, no, you don't need that. That shows up. Okay, fuck that shit. Okay, we're good. I think we're back. Yeah. So, okay, so what happened, Philip? You're going to laugh because I just spent the last hour fucking This is always what happens. You end up peacocking about how fucking smart you are. Guess what happens? Always. My grandma, this is how I grew up, which was that, because I have a tendency to get a bit of a big head because I'm kind of smart. I know a lot of stuff. And, you know, left unchecked, I get a little unbearable at times. Sometimes. On rare occasions, I tend to get a big head. And so I'm just like that. I'm that person who calls tech support and goes, I fucking know. Don't fucking tell me to turn it off and on again. Fucking blah, 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 blah. And they go, ma'am, have you tried? And they call me ma'am. That's not good. That started to happen about 6 years ago. I was not happy about that. Ma'am, it's over for me. Anyway. No, but I'm that person who's like, don't you fucking tell me how to like fix my own computer. I mean, I've been 25 years in tech and I know everything. Right? Okay? I do have a big head. I do actually have quite a big head. Physically speaking, yes. I also have really big hands. I have man hands. I have bigger hands than my husband. My alt account, which I probably shouldn't tell you about because I don't even know, like my old forum fucking I don't really have time for it anymore, but my old username and gaming name is Death by Snoo Snoo. Cuz I'm tall and heavy set and fucking if I was thin and muscly, I'd be considered Amazonian, but I'm not. I'm just fat and old. I'm heavy set. Fuck it, whatever. So what? So if you watch Superstore, you know how you've got Dina from Superstore. I'm built like that, like she's just never going to be thin. She's just that's just how it's just how she's built. So, it's wrong to treat people like that. Like what? Okay, my restream chat's not working. Hang on. Why can't I see this fuckwit? What am I treating people like? What am I treating people like? You should do more exercise. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I should. I definitely should. But you're too busy derailing my threads and my streams, and it wastes my time. So, isn't it interesting? I actually, peeps, okay, my Telegram is right there. So it comes up on the feed. So what I would like you to do is send me a picture of yourself naked, okay? You can blur out the embarrassing micro penis, but I would just love to, can we just get you, and I can show you, and we can show everyone, and we can just publicly discuss your appearance, and then we'll just assess on a scale of 1 to 10 how qualified you are to make comments about people. I have kidney disease, okay? I have lost my stomach. I've nearly died 3 times, okay? I exercise and eat right as best as one can do in that situation. So how about, guess what? It's wrong to assume things about people, and it's wrong to treat people as though they are, and dehumanize people in a way that actually fucking, makes assumptions about their life. Okay, I'm also a very busy mother. I have an autistic son whom I homeschool. I am currently moving house. I'm currently doing postgrad education so that I can psychoanalyze stupid fucks like you. Okay, so do feel free to send me that picture. My Telegram's right there, and we'll just have a discussion, shall we? Awesome. Now, yes. So Philip said, it's the universe's way of telling that you ain't shit, ain't stuff. So my grandmother was always that voice growing up. So because I had on one side of my family, I was treated like I was, like fucking super gifted. I am. I was top, blitzed every test, autistic as fuck. Think like young Sheldon. Okay, that's an annoying kind of person to be around. Think of me as like a female young Sheldon, okay? Young Sheldon, because young Sheldon was a boy, was given opportunities and nurtured. Let's just imagine that I was Missy, but, and dismissed. But, had Sheldon's brain, okay? But I'm just saying. So, and I grew up like that. So, but, part of that with being like autistic growing up as a girl, not really understanding sort of social dynamics, being clever, it gives you a big head. The thing I love about my dad's side of the family, they're all gone now. Like my dad died, 2018. My grandmother died in 2010. My grandmother raised me. I'm alienated from my mother, but my grandmother raised me. But the one thing that they gave me was the ability where they would just roast you endlessly and haze you. It can be a little, obviously you need some therapy around some of those things where I've talked about my stage fright and things like that before. But at the same time, I think that I got my sense of humor from them, their ability to just tell a joke, the ability to riff, the ability to not give a fuck what people like Pete fuck. And he's not showing up on this chat thing, so I can't really see it. So I'm going to have to, hang on, let me just turn this up. Because Peeps is a clear troll, right? So let's just have some fun, because Peeps doesn't realise that I'm wired like a comic, and that comics love a good heckle, especially when they're fucking, drifting. So let me just zoom in a little bit so I can see what Peeps has to say. Let's just see what 12-year-old Peeps has to say today. Hang on a minute. Let me just get the preview scaling. Up, scale to window. All right, now I can see the chats. And also, unfortunately, I can see my fucking full face, but that's okay. Turn to Jesus to fill that hole in my heart. Well, I had a cardiothoracic surgeon repair my heart back in 2013 when I was born with with Wolff Parkinson White, and Jesus gave me a lot of fucking shit to live with, okay, including a lot of inherited and intractable illnesses. I'm so glad you could join us, Jesus Bot. You're so much fun. Okay, it's so much fun. We love Jesus Bot, don't we? It will fill the hole in my heart. I don't have a hole in my heart. I have a hole in my hole. And my wonderful husband fills it regularly in ways that would make you clutch your pearls. My child will return to me when she grows up. Okay, my child. See, this is a Jesus bot that likes to use psychology on somebody. You can't put psychological pressure on a fucking Bobo doll, dumb fuck. Okay, I've lived through things. Okay, I've lived through the worst possible things. Okay, I gave birth to a child who, through a divorce, became the proxy abuser of my abusive ex. Okay, it's not her fault. Okay, and so one day, at some point, she will see, okay, because I love and believe in my child's ability and intelligence and heart and kind heart, okay, that she is perfectly capable of seeing things the way they are, and that some people don't change, and that eventually patterns emerge, okay? So my daughter will return to me when the gender movement blows wide apart for the fucking AstroTurf troll farm movement that it is. My daughter will return to me when she has babies or has some experience in the real world. And because as somebody who grew up without a mother, I know that the bond between mother and child is stronger than any bond that you could ever imagine, and that despite every force to try and break that apart, okay, if I can forgive my mother, she can forgive me, and I can forgive her, and I adore her, and I love her, and I believe in her. So I question you, if you are a Christian, Jesus would not generally engage in psyops. Jesus would not engage in manipulation, and Jesus would most certainly not weaponize someone's pain in public to humiliate them for whatever fucking lols you think you're getting. Okay? I think that you might, if you're not a bot, okay, hypothetically, I wonder what your motivations might be in causing psychological distress, or attempting to cause psychological distress to someone you don't know. That's not very Jesus-like of you, is it? Jesus said, turn the other cheek. Okay. Jesus said, judge, lest not let ye be judged. Was that Jesus? I don't fucking know. Jesus was a good dude. Jesus would have a podcast and get cancelled by all these dumb fucks. Okay? Jesus would be an advocate for basic civil rights. And Jesus said, love thy enemy. Jesus didn't say, heckle thy enemy on their public live stream and try to get them to fucking cry. It's not going to work, man. Doesn't work. Because you can't out-troll a troll. I blocked you from your Discord when I tried to coordinate a prayer of the rosary. I will unblock you because you're fun, okay? But you got to behave yourself. I'll let you back in. Okay, fair enough. All right, Mary. If others consent. Now that we have levels and roles, you're most welcome. You're most welcome in the general Discord. Okay, let's have some fun. I'm open to it. See, the thing okay, all right, so I apologize for this, but this is just an interesting exercise, okay? So, can you confirm that you are, because I study troll farms, and the reason why I've been watching, I see the replies on Twitter, I know it's the same person, and I am curious about what your motivations are. Why don't you come on and talk to me, okay? I do need more exercise. I also need surgery that I can't afford. I also need to move house. I also need to have a bigger purpose in life, which is to try and make people feel better when things are a lot worse for a lot of people. Okay, I know a lot of teachers in the UK and people in the UK who are just watching death and destruction, and I turn up and I make them laugh. Okay, I don't want anybody who thinks me making fun of a Jesus bot is me making fun of Christians by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, I just believe that religion is private. I believe sex is private. Sex lives are private, largely private, unless they become political and you're persecuted for it. Then obviously, but again, it's social media has broken this stuff. Okay, the public-private divide has really been broken, and we do need to start thinking about what's appropriate. Okay. No, this is not, surgery isn't free. This surgery is not free on Medicare because I had a gastric sleeve and I need a gastric bypass revision. Okay, I'm honest about that too, because the gastric sleeve, okay, it is a procedure that removed a portion of my stomach, okay, because I had a giant diverticulum as a complication from a previous surgery and repeated gastritis. Okay, I had a giant gaping hole and ulcer in my stomach, so I have basically what is a sleeve. I then ended up with pancreatitis. Okay, I don't lie. See, what have I got to lie about? Okay, but because of the way that the operation is coded in the public system, it's considered an elective procedure. So gastric bypass is actually considered an elective procedure that needs premium health insurance. The gap payment on that is about $8,000. Okay, I don't have $8,000. So, what was it that I lied about? Exactly. Was it the bit where I let people think that, okay, I don't lie at all. Okay. And yes, so Philip said, so if Mary can learn to respect, I'd love Mary to come back because I'd like to teach Mary a lesson in boundaries. Okay. This is something that I love doing. I'm not training to be a psych for no reason. I'm funny and trying to be, we're roasting and shit. But, at the end of the day, Rain honestly, one thing, actually, okay, while we're doing this stream, let's talk about this with Mary. One of my people in the Discord did actually spam Mary or Peeps. Okay. Yeah, they were rude to you. People are going to be rude to you. Okay. When you're spruiking religion, they're going to be rude to you. And yes, can I just say that I personally felt very uncomfortable with the satanic shit. But freedom of speech, that's exactly what freedom of speech is. Okay, is that you need to be able to talk it through. But I don't feel like you're willing to talk it through. I feel like you're just monologuing. Okay, and as an autistic person, I understand that reading the room can be difficult and learning when to stop talking can be difficult. And that's something that maybe I can help you with, Mary, because I think you might actually find that there's a number of people in my community who believe in God and are very deeply spiritual people. A couple of friends of mine, they study theology. I'm not Catholic, but I'm definitely not. I wouldn't call myself atheist. Okay, And yeah, and you can pray for me, and I appreciate the prayer. But I don't understand the end game of that. Okay, and I don't know why those chats are double appearing again. God, that's annoying when that happens, isn't it? But like I think it's really I'd like to point out that I also have the right to build a culture. So okay, this comes back to theory, all right. And this might actually help me get back to my point about NFTs and blockchain and all that sort of shit. Okay. Which is that what I see on the internet is everybody thinking that we have to please everybody, first of all, appeal to everybody, and and that everyone has a right to do whatever they want in someone else's community. And I don't believe that that's the case. I've said this before, and I've said this to other dudes like the dick wavers and stuff, right? Which is that, I liken the internet more to, and when I say the internet, I mean social media platforms, okay, but the internet in general. But there's this argument that Twitter is the public space, or that YouTube is a public space, but it's not necessarily, because we've got those features for a reason to moderate and curate and build. The original vision that I had for some of my clients, and I still talk to them a lot about this stuff. Eventually I sort of get to a point where they, we move on from things. Actually, you know what? To be honest, the one big mistake I made in my career was getting rid of my creative clients because they didn't have enough money to pay my bills, and going corporate because there was more money in it. Honestly, I regret being paid in tickets and fucking guitars and cool shit, and it was the happiest time of my life when I was working with people who create things rather than destroy. Now, Mary, if you are a creator and somebody who builds and likes to change hearts and minds and come with that mindset, then and people will hear you out. But if you're somebody who is there to try and destroy somebody, okay, and again, destroying can happen in many different ways and many different forms. And I would say that using something that is a very clear sore spot for me, putting me in a position where I have to publicly discuss something where every single time it is mentioned, okay, I risk alienating her further, okay, because a big part of the rift between us was that I was a mummy blogger and that I blogged a lot about her when she was younger without her consent. I have experience in these things. So I'd love, actually, if anybody knows Heather Armstrong, if anyone could get me there and Deuce, I'd love to talk to her, because she went through the same thing with Lita, where she got famous with her blog, being like a lot of the mummy bloggers. And you saw it recently with like Reese Witherspoon and her daughter. And it's like, well, no, we don't have the right to their story. And again, so there's a lot to unpick there, Mary. All right. So, well, no, praying for me it is helping if you believe that it is. And I have never been somebody who doesn't appreciate prayers, ever. I grew up with a family of prayers and I appreciate it. I'm not one of those, like you ask Paul. Paul says, I'm praying for you. He gets pissed off when people say bless you. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, because again, people have had, but you've also, okay, what you need to understand, okay, is that people have a lot of shit when it comes to abusive bullshit when it comes to spirituality, and especially with organized religion and cults and that sort of stuff, okay? Whether it's a business cult, whether it's a crypto cult, whether it's religion, okay? Religion, there's a reason why they recruit people into religion from an early age. And we're just taught these Bible stories from a very early age. Yes, it can be considered to be, educational and help with morality. I truly believe that the Bible does create It's a significant philosophical and moral text. If you dismiss a lot of the teachings, then obviously that's, you're being closed-minded. But at the same time, there's people who've just had fucking, especially Catholics. There's a lot of baggage around that stuff, and abuse, and nuns, and all that stuff. So you can't come in and just start saying things like that without empathy. This is what I talked about with empathy, which is understanding where the other person's coming from, and that maybe when they say no, I don't want to talk about it for whatever reason, that you respect that. Okay. Now, I honestly, I in terms of what happened on the Discord with the Jesus stuff and the porn and the graphic shit, but again, freedom of speech, freedom of cult, I'm trying to build a community where everyone can just figure it out, and I just sat back and let people figure it out. Okay. I'm a hands-off sort of person, generally speaking. The only time that I will fucking intervene generally is if you're fucking up the culture of my regulars who pay me. Okay? Like I said, the Jesus bot technically needs to pay me $2 million a month. That's what I said. All right. Yeah, and that's a trans woman, and as much as, okay, we're not getting into that conversation, but no, and I agree, and I talked to that person privately about stopping, okay? So that's the stuff that you need to understand, all right? But if you can behave yourself and conduct yourself in my community with empathy and kindness, I don't think that you should, that thing where it's like, well, it doesn't matter really who started it. You should be the one leading it, because you're the one who's talking about Jesus, and that was what Jesus preached. So until you are living and modeling the values that the Jesus that I know espouses, then you have no business, you should model it. Model behavior that you want to see. And so for me, I model, there's certain things, and fuck them. I'm not engaging. Nah, this is a joke. Comedy's free. Fuck off. Also, I'm just going to say comedy is free. And there is a point where things do become funny and do turn memey and do get a bit crazy, and it can get out of hand. And, these things have a life cycle, and they sort themselves out. Okay. So anyway, I was just going to address, I like addressing this, right? And you know what? I grew up, my grandmother, I talked about how she passed away in 2010. There's a blog post from 2010. If I ever fucking get the time to fix my fucking website and have it properly searchable and stuff, there's a whole fucking diary around when she died. Okay? When the most hardworking, faithful, sacrificing, God-fearing person that I ever met withered away in 6 weeks with a brain tumor, okay, and right up until her death, still believed that God had a plan. You kind of question that stuff, is what I'm saying, okay? Maybe I've been given an unfair deal because I'm supposed to change hearts and minds somewhere else, okay? And yes, I understand that with religion, this idea that life is suffering, which is that's been proven in psychology studies, okay, and psychology studies, which is again that's just resilience, right? That life is about building resilience and suffering and pushing through and perseverance and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, we were talking about crypto, but I think I just wanted to address some of that and engage with the bot because, so, and this is the thing, exorcism, what the fuck are you on about? Okay, and this is why you got blocked. Okay, so this is the thing. But I'm quite happy to have fun with you, but, it's interesting because hecklers, see, what people are seeing right now is that hecklers can also provide a nice little launch pad for some spiritual conversations that I hadn't really, you get to see a side of me that I necessarily might not share. Okay. Next line of code. Yeah, so maybe so the Dogecoin bot got confused. But, let's have some fun. Because I actually like trying to break AI, because AI learns that way. It's good. You're helping science. So, sorry, hang on, let me just have some water. It's very important. All right. I'm just trying to fucking figure out why that double chat thing's happening as well in the meantime. It's freaking annoying. Oy. Anyway, so I just turn off the restream bot maybe. Anyway. But, okay, so. Yeah, well, if you believe that, then you absolutely are not welcome on my Discord at all. And I'm not saying you aren't free to believe it. Okay? Absolutely not saying that you aren't free to believe what you believe. Okay? But no. Just because you believe it doesn't mean you have to say it. Okay? If you can say it, just read the room, man. Seriously, this is fucking ridiculous. All right. And if any TERFs are watching this stuff, like the good TERFs, right? The people who've just been called a TERF. All right. I don't think Mary's a feminist either, somehow. I think Mary thinks that my godly duty is to live in service of children and my husband. God, you sound like my ex-husband, actually. But just for argument's sake, okay, this is why I think it's very important that we do not associate with these with views like that. Okay, I think it's absolutely important. It's the restream bot that's fucking everything up. Okay, so anyway, judge not lest you be judged. Okay, and I believe, and also I think that it's none of your fucking business. Okay, none of your business. It's not your job to save everyone. Okay. I'm literally becoming a psychologist. I was a social worker, and the one thing I learned very early on is that people are on their own path and that you cannot save people. Okay? It's none of your business. Stay the fuck out of it. How about you work on your personal relationship with God? How about you work on your values and living those values that you seem to be, Yeah. So using Satan as, And the thing is, it was funny at the time. It just got a bit too fucking. I'm a bit, when it comes to over tagging the joke in general, I'm a bit like, all right, point made. But if it comes to us having to choose between a very cool and very nice and extremely interesting member of my community, like I've interviewed that person and their story. If you can't hear their story and still insist on saying these things, okay, then you are not espousing the word, the Jesus or religion of anything good. Okay, you are my enemy, and you are. And you don't get to hide behind Jesus and say that just because I make you personally my enemy, evangelical fucking judgmental bullshit fucking Kenneth Copeland dick sucking fuckhead, just because that doesn't mean that I have given up on Jesus. I gave up on you and your ability. And I think Jesus, what's that great t-shirt? I said, it's like, Jesus was great. It's his representatives I fucking hate. You're basically like that crazy person on the corner with the sandwich board with a bell, just judging everybody while they're just trying to get a fucking sandwich. It's like, fucking hell. You dickheads. Anyway, was that my... So I think we've spent too much time on Peeps. Peeps can just go sit and shout into the void for a bit. No, I'm not going to stop swearing. That costs $2 million a month too. I don't care. Okay? Fuck off and watch something else. Why don't you go and watch the fucking Christian channel then? Fuckhead. I think we all agree Peeps is a bit of a cunt. How's that sound? Swearing. Go fuck yourself. Making 8-year-old children self-mutilate is satanic. Yeah. I would say it's probably, but what are you talking about? Satanic. I think we've found a QAnon person. Isn't it the Q people that talk about everything being satanic? No, I didn't wash my hair. I've been busy. Oh wow, this one's got like this bot's really interesting. Because it's kind of like a Q bot, but it's also like kind of got the whole negging thing down and thinks that it works. No, I didn't. Oh my God, this is so funny. Philip, say the word. Say the word. Why are you up so late? Because I don't live in America, and America's not the centre of the fucking universe. It's 11:20 a.m. in Australia, where I live. Okay, I'm not up fucking late. Welcome to my lecture on Americentrism, everybody. The fact that it's even called Americentrism shows that that's bullshit, because America actually also encompasses Canada and South American countries as well. So US centricism, everybody. Sorry, I'm here to roast people. Don't go crazy. It's the middle of the day. Sorry, don't go crazy. We're having fun. Or is it don't go crazy or Doge? Sorry, I can't quite see. Jesus took away my sight. We're just roasting a Jesus bot right now. Oh, goodness me. I still can't figure out why the fuck that restream bot's doing that. Oh well. Oh, that's pretty funny. Where are we? I turned it off. I don't know what's going on. I have to look at it. You should wash my hair. It's beautiful when you wash it. Well, unfortunately, I'm more interested in ideas than... Again, I would invite peeps to send me a picture to my Telegram. I may or may not accept it. I may or may not mock it. But, I think peeps should start their own channel. Don't you? Don't give a fuck. Okay? Honestly, this is why there's fewest female CEOs, because we spend 2 hours a day fucking on our hair and makeup and shit. I'm not doing that. I got shit to do. How often do I exercise? Not as much as I should. Not as much as I should. I love psyops. This is desperation, isn't it? I'm just watching this fascinating. Isn't this fascinating? How often do I exercise? Probably. I think maybe peeps should go outside and get some fresh air. Don't you? And peeps is assuming I got legs. That's very ableist. Are you going to talk about my crooked tooth next? You should do that. Do that one. Do the crooked tooth thing. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Well, while Peep sits there, why are modern women making nose rings? They're not. What? Wearing nose rings, I assume. I don't know, because it annoys people like you. Same reason I swear and call you a cunt. And the same reason I don't wash my hair, and the same reason that I say whatever the fuck I want and do whatever the fuck I want, because it annoys you. Do you know why Peeps One's chat isn't being reposted by the bot? Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I'm not sure. I think there's just a bot fight going on here. I think because Peeps is coming from Periscope, and Streamlabs doesn't relay. I think because this is interesting. Streamlabs doesn't relay Periscope for obvious fucking reasons because it's so pleasurable, and but Restream does pull it in. It's interesting. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still having a look and figuring it out. I've bolted on so many different little integrations and stuff that I think there's just something gone a bit awry there. I just need to change the widget. I don't have a bruise on my lip. It's called a venous mound. It's a additional vein, the birthmark. Thanks. It's called a venous mound, which I find fucking hilarious. I've had it since I was born. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I think just that Twitter's recognised it as a dodgy bot account and is suppressing it. It's interesting though. Fascinating stuff. I like watching these. Do you know what? There's actually something to be said for just sitting and watching the bots and see what they ask. Or like, should I also okay, hang on. So I haven't plucked so just for Peeps' benefit, I haven't showered today either because I've been busy and it's only 11 a.m. and I'll have a shower after this. And I just felt like streaming because this is the quiet time to stream because apparently all the fuckwits show up after 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I just felt like streaming and because because I'm just in the middle of packing and stuff and I'm busy. I haven't plucked my eyebrows because I'm trying to grow them out. I haven't gone to like a beauty thing or had my face done or anything for a while because COVID and fucking, I'm watching my money because I'd like to try and, get paid to get abused by bots. I don't know why. I just do. But no, it's interesting. So where are we? I'm just having a quick look at settings while we're here. I have no idea how you connect these things. I'd need to go in and have a look at Streamlabs. I'm happy for you to log in and have a look, Philip, if you want. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm thinking Periscope does actually work well because people do watch it. Otherwise, I'd kill it completely. But I actually do really like Twitch as well. I want to look good. No, I want to be considered intelligent and smart, and I want to be a good person who doesn't fucking tell people to come to Jesus. I have a feeling that in the score out of 10, when you average it out, I think I'm winning. Because I'm firstly, I'm a real human. Second of all, I'm brave enough to just and to be vulnerable and happy to just talk about this stuff. I don't think people understand. They think this is easy, but it's not that easy. Okay. I don't see Peeps' channel. Hey, Peeps, send us a link to your YouTube channel, shall we? Philip is trans. Good. Philip can do what Philip does. You also thought that Flick was fucking barren. So what the fuck? You're not. As a psychic, I wouldn't be putting money on you. I'd put more money on GameStop dropping below $50 again than on you being like a good psychic or good judge of character. That's pretty funny. Are you aware that you're trans, Philip? Isn't it weird when a bot comes out, outs you to everybody? Who cares? Fucking hell. Okay. So, I don't give a fuck. Philip makes awesome bags. Philip makes things. Philip's a good person. Well, maybe you are. In the trans community, Philip, that's called an egg. Maybe you just haven't hatched yet. Maybe you just haven't hatched. You just haven't found your true calling yet. Come to the... Abortion is murder. Yeah. Yeah, I know. So, what's that got to do with anything? Yeah, you are. So? Honestly, some murder's fucking justified, if you ask me. I'm the wrong person to fucking ask. I am absolutely the wrong person to, like, you know, I literally had to ask my kid 5 times to get the shit out of his room this weekend. So, you know, I'm becoming pretty much a fan of retroactive fucking abortion. I got teenagers. Fucking stop that shit. Nah, I'm not doing the rosary. You do the rosary. Oh, fucking hell. I love that, like, every trick, that it just doesn't, none of this works. Next they're going to start saying that GameStop's going to drop and that Doge is fucking bad investment and shit. Anyway. I don't know who Lara Logan is and don't care. So, I think you should fuck off to whoever Lara Logan is. I think that would be cool. I would turn lesbian for Lara Logan. Well, you can't turn lesbian. You either are, you aren't. If you can turn lesbian, then you're bisexual. So, I'm not Googling Lara Logan. I assume that it's some sort of fucking big-haired, pearl-wearing fucking pantsuit fuck that's like, whatever. Well, this stream has gone well. I'm enjoying this. I got a hole in my shirt too, just in case you're looking at pointing things out. I've also got like loose skin on my arms, and yeah. So if you turn Les, what would Jesus think? That's very satanic of the bot, isn't it? Fuck off. So, because, well, we all know that Jesus cured the lezzers. For those in the back, I was referring to lepers. And Jesus cured the lezzers. It wasn't that funny. It wasn't really worth that much laughter, was it? All right. So, Paul and I were on the couch. And we realized that we've been in tech for like 25 years. And it's like, it's just this blockchain shit. It's fucking confusing, man. And it's funny because just as you think you understand it, the thing that's most funny about this blockchain business, right, is that, like, you think you get it. And then there's like, like I said before, there's this maze. Do we even care about this anymore? But it is funny because you're just going through this maze. I'm just going to show you a quick YouTube video. Hang on, let's go through this thing. I'll show you a quick YouTube video while I tinker with the fucking chatbot so it doesn't like play like both. Hang on. This one made me laugh. This is actually a channel that I really like because I like to challenge myself to see if, like, at what level I understand things. But you'll have a laugh because there are just things where you just realize that you start to tap out. But the interesting thing about this video, okay, and the key message, do hang in there because it's 17 minutes long. We got all the time in the fucking world. In the replay, you can fast forward if you're not interested. This is a live stream. But what's interesting about this is that the expert is better at helping you understand and explain the implications of blockchain than people in the middle who are trying to explain it or understand it at that level. And I think that that's what's really interesting about somebody who really truly understands something complicated is able to explain like how it works. Okay. So where are we? Let's hope this works. This is funny. Hopefully this works. But there are moments where I just laugh out loud because I go, I don't understand it. But
technologies and co-founder of
tell me if the sound isn't working.
Today, I've been challenged to explain one concept at 5 levels of increasing complexity. My topic is blockchain technology. Blockchain is a new network, and it's going to help us decentralize trade, allowing us to do a lot of our transactions much more peer-to-peer directly and lower our use of intermediaries like companies, or banks maybe. I think today everyone can leave understanding something about blockchain at some level. Do you know what we're going to talk about today? It's called blockchain.
What's blockchain?
That's a really good question. It's actually a way that we can trade. Do you know what trade is?
It's when you take turns in something. It's when you give up most of what you want, right?
When you give up most of what you want? Well, sometimes that definitely happens for sure. What if I told you that there's a kind of technology that I work on that means you could trade with any kid all over the world?
Really?
Yeah.
If I could trade with any kid, I would trade something I don't like so much.
That's probably a good idea. Maybe somebody else likes it more than you do. So normally, when people trade, they have to go to the store or they have to know the person so that they can get what they asked for. With blockchain, you can make that exact same trade, but you don't need the store. And you don't even necessarily need to know the other person. Really? So Ian, do you know what blockchain is?
No.
Have you ever traded or sold anything?
Actually, I'm selling my computer on eBay right now.
That's amazing. What made you decide to trade on eBay?
Well, I mean, I've heard of it and I trust it a lot because they have like all of their guarantees. So I know that I'm gonna get money and the person's gonna get what they want.
So what if I told you that blockchain technology is basically a tool where you can do the exact same thing, but it goes to you and I directly. You wouldn't need an eBay or a brand in between.
That's cool.
And there's a lot of those kinds of middlemen like in our society today, right? We have a lot of banks, we have a lot of companies that sort of help us make sure that our trades happen. But if we could guarantee the same trade using technology as sort of like a technological trust, then we wouldn't really need all those middlemen in between.
So how does it work?
It's basically a network of computers that all have the same history of transactions. And so instead of sort of there being one company with one database that holds all the information, the same sort of list is held by all these different people. Like you could have it on your computer. And then it gets validated by everyone, and basically that turns into the next part of the list. So it's sort of constantly updating itself.
So like, how do you make sure that it's secure?
So it uses cryptography, and that helps it basically encode all of the transactions. So you can't really see exactly what happened, but you know it happened because it's like a marker.
So you could kind of like, I don't know, say you trade apples, but you would just see like random letters for it, so you wouldn't be able to like track it.
Exactly.
That's cool.
So it's kind of this like really
Get it at this point, yeah.
system for all sorts of things that get traded, but instead of being owned by one company, it's owned by everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah. We're going to talk about blockchain technology. Have you heard of blockchain?
I've heard of the words blockchain, but I'm not sure I know what it is.
So when we were much smaller societies, you and I could trade in our community pretty easily. But as the distance in our trade grew, we ended up inventing institutions, right? If you use Uber or you use Airbnb or you use Amazon even, these are just digital marketplaces and platforms that help us facilitate an exchange of value. But today we actually have a technology that allows us to trade one-to-one, but at scale, and it's called blockchain technology. There is some kind of interface for it. You could have an app, or you could use your computer to do it. But instead of there being a company in the middle, or what's helping you make that transaction, is a bunch of software code. And so it's being run by all of these different computers that have like a node. So they're all running the same software and guaranteeing your transactions as they happen.
I mean, I would assume this technology is taking away business or activity from these middlemen.
In some cases, yeah, it is. And a lot of people in the financial industry in particular are looking at it from the banking side of how do we use this technology to trade things like Bitcoin or other tokens that are easier to use instead of today's currency. You know, a lot of people think about blockchain as Bitcoin because it's sort of in the news a lot and it's this new cryptocurrency and it's kind of exciting. But we're actually seeing a lot more use cases for blockchain that aren't around the currency side. They're more around how do you take any asset and be able to trade that using this same technology.
Is there a mechanism for verifying that person A is a legitimate seller or producer of the item?
So today, a lot of people are working on how to create identity structures that leverage blockchains. And one of the tools for doing that is being able to cryptographically sign for a given attribute. So your government could sign that you have a US passport, or a university could sign that you are a currently enrolled student. And you could then dole out that information and control it yourself and be able to show people.
So bear with me on this, because I just want to show you this video. I hope it's coming through. But what I find really interesting is the leap between college, right, explanation, which is infinitely more confusing, okay, than the expert. And that's where I want to get to. I just want to show you that part, okay? So how she's like explaining it.
So today we're going to talk about blockchain technology.
Okay. And
heard of
we're usually at this level, right? We're usually with these dudes. These are the eggheads that try to explain it, right?
This information gets logged and it gets verified by a third person or third party. And then if like all this information verified and it all matches, right, the transaction goes through without any intermediary, basically, right? And it gets stored. And when we make further transactions, this information is already embedded. It's in the ledger.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you can append it. You can sort of add new information that's more current, but you can't actually go erase anything.
Absolutely right. The way the technology is changing, nothing's going to be like it used to be. And there's no like firm and then the buyer and the seller. It's basically have to rewrite a lot of rules in economics as well.
For sure. A lot of the assumptions won't hold true. Same
Absolutely.
with who are the actors. It's not just people anymore, it's machines.
Absolutely.
We're going to have to create entire new concepts of how they do trade and how they work with us too. What kind of barriers or roadblocks would you imagine are going to happen in the blockchain space?
So at least when we talk about Bitcoin, there are some trust issues. There have been some hacks and so there's obviously a need to work on trust and feeling that it's a safe technology.
Yeah, one of the problems that Bitcoin has faced is Bitcoin's getting stolen or lost. But a lot of that actually comes from people trying to re-centralize Bitcoin in different ways, making themselves actually a pretty easy target.
Absolutely. So education will be a big part before we actually can use the technology in a wide sense, right?
Yeah. To actually transition into the mainstream and make it useful for average people to use, we're going to need to make sure we have a lot more education, a lot more standards.
Should I vape on screen?
And probably work with a lot of enterprises to create sort of the user experience around this being a technology that is safe and usable and understandable. What is the current state of blockchain in your understanding? What's going to happen next?
The current state is the research state, and it's being developed to be applied in many areas. It might be used almost everywhere to where like we
This part's for the
won't even
OnlyFans.
imagine how we lived without it. But I'm not sure where it's going to go. I mean, no one really knows, right?
Well, we have a lot of public blockchains. Like we have Bitcoin, we have the Ethereum network, NXT, but a lot of companies and consortiums are getting together to build private blockchains, so ones that are more closed off at first and then may evolve into a public network when people feel comfortable using it. And some are also proof of concepts out in the real world, projects in energy and in pharmaceuticals and in retail and lots of different fields are starting experiments. And we'll see in the next few years how all of those interact and what we learn about the best use cases for blockchain and what it means for trade. So tell me your version of a technical definition of blockchain.
A technical definition of blockchain is that it is a persistent, transparent, public, append-only ledger. So it is a system that you can add data to and not change previous data within it.
But this guy explains it better than anyone.
Mechanism for creating consensus between scattered or distributed parties that do not need to trust each other, but just need to trust the mechanism by which their consensus is arrived at. In the case of blockchain, it relies on some form of challenge such that no one actor on the network is able to solve this challenge consistently more than everyone else on the network.
So it randomizes.
Yes, yeah, it randomizes the process and in theory ensures that no one can force the blockchain to accept a particular entry onto the ledger that others disagree with. One that relies on a mechanism for a peer-to-peer network that can maintain updates to the ledger and then verify those updates in such a way that it is impossible to defraud and impossible to alter after the fact.
And do you see it as defining a new discipline of kinds, or where are we going to see blockchain emerge in the real world first?
I mean, just so like as an example, one thing that I think about a lot in terms of possible blockchain applications is electricity. Right, the next generation of distributed smart grid technology, effectively.
I know this can be dry.
Yes, yeah, exactly. And it's this very fruitful.
There is a
research,
point.
and you can find yourself looking like 20 years out, right, where you have an enormous number of electric cars. You have all of these batteries. Like that's essentially a distributed peak load power grid, right? Like the cars are getting plugged in and unplugged at different times. If you have a mechanism that is able to automatically and autonomously be distributing power based on batteries that are scattered throughout the grid, that are being used for other purposes. Their owners don't even necessarily need to be aware. You begin to have something that looks like a much more viable society that still has a lot of electricity needs, but is able to base that much more on renewables, is able to make up the difference during peak load periods or during differences in weather, that is able to have power much closer to where it's needed rather than having to be distributed over great distances. Like, that's something that would be an enormously hard problem to solve. And it's not that the blockchain makes it easy, but it makes it possible.
A lot of people are seeing blockchain in the news and maybe seeing a lot of sort of initial coin offerings, this sort of monetization opportunity around blockchain, and are getting very excited about it. And some of that excitement is real and should be encouraged, but some of it is also hype. How do you feel about the hype cycle around blockchain today?
I'm glad you mentioned initial coin offerings because for me those really exemplify the sort of the problem that we're having at this exact moment. They are an idea with enormous potential significance down the road. However, the promise of the initial coin offering has been kind of hijacked into this string of like basically pump and dump scams or sort of desperate gold rush schemes. The faster that we can shift from this fantasy that it is going to make you rich in a sort of 1920s tulip bubble kind of way, is the sooner that we can get into people, honestly, and I mean this like with all the hope in the world, people being disappointed in blockchains. Like, oh, I didn't get rich. It's just being used now to make it easier to transact goods and services safely across borders. This isn't exciting at all. And then we'll see that like become part of the everyday infrastructure of the world in a way that I think will be very significant. But I think it is now almost every aspect of it that's connected with the concept of money is wildly overhyped.
And it also creates a problem, which is people get a lot of excitement around it, and then they're waiting for the world to change, right? Where is this technology? Why haven't I seen anything change yet? And it's because we've had a lot of PR, a lot of proof of concept, but truthfully, this is more like a science, right? It will develop, it will take...
Anyway, you get the point, right?
That kind of time is necessary. One of the areas that brought me to supply chain research is the fact that we're not just going to see blockchain emerge, we're going to see artificial intelligence continue to evolve. We're going to see connected devices and this sort of growing Internet of Things, machinery that can do a lot more.
Anyway, I'm just saying, do you see the difference? See how like important it is? Like when you're talking about like these people who overcomplicate things because they don't understand it, right? So you've got people who don't understand it, so they make it complicated. and people who do understand something intimately, but they also understand the bigger context of what they're talking about. And it makes it easier to understand. And that's what I've been trying to talk about with zooming out for some time, about, you know, like being in the weeds and overcomplicating and arguing about clownfish and all that sort of stuff. And it's just like, okay, so what we need to do is look at how, like, it's so easy with this crypto stuff to just go into a corner, right? And I just want to show you one more thing because it is fucking funny, because this was part of the journey, okay? Which was this guy, okay? Made me fucking laugh because I'm sitting there going, I'm so excited about the idea of NFTs, okay? So basically it's digital art where you can, like, basically, it's like you basically have a certificate of authenticity, or think like, I'm trying to think of a real world metaphor, like the art world, but like think like first edition books, or imagine owning like the first copy or the first authentic print of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, for example. Think of that metaphor in a digital sense. And in digital rights. And traditionally, again, there's a lot of history around creators not getting paid. And just one of the biggest problems with the internet, as you know, is the ability to just duplicate content and the artist doesn't get paid, okay? Like, we could just do that. So the reason why I'm excited about NFTs, which stands for, like, I'll show you the video. But what I just want to laugh, and I want to talk about the journey that we're on, okay? Because crypto is complicated. It's not that complicated, but you could just sort of suddenly go, oh, fucking what's that now I need to learn? And then you spend 3 days fucking learning what this thing is. And there was just this moment where Paul and I, you know how we were on our couch 2.5 hours ago, okay? Paul and I were like, we understand, we know roughly what it is. It's peer-to-peer and, you know, builds on blocks, blah, 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 boring shit, okay? But the implications, the business case for blockchain is still we're still forming words around it. And I'm really excited about NFTs, mostly because I am excited about, I've always been trying to solve the problem of how do creators get money, how do they get paid without all of the fucking people taking their cut and leeching their fucking shit. If you know about Spotify or iTunes, like, you know, in the early days of the internet, we saw this thing happen where people could upload their music when internet wasn't very fast. So, it's like, think Louis C.K.'s dropping his special directly on his own website for a flat fee and download and go, fuck it, people are going to pirate it, right? Versus getting fractions of a cent for its streaming on YouTube, okay? And YouTube getting most of the money. What a lot of this but imagine if, like with the Louis C.K. model, which I can talk about a little bit more at some point, but what he did was put the files up on his own website and he just went, fuck it, pay $5, download it. Like piracy, whatever, you're going to pirate. Pirate's going to pirate, do what you're going to do. But, and people did. He made I can't remember, he made something like $10 million in a day. Am I exaggerating? Was it 10 million, 5 million, something like that? The numbers are good. But imagine if he could do that. But if that ended up being shared or licensed or replicated or whatever, there's a certificate of authenticity on those files, okay? That not DRM, okay? It's not like digital rights management, which is a mechanism of control. This is the danger zone that we're in, which is that we just end up with the same old shit of DRM and it being centralized. And that's my concern with these sort of marketplaces. Because remember when, as a designer and in the old days of the internet, you could go direct. You could hypothetically go direct and sell your photos on a website. But if you did that, or you had to go on iStock or Getty Images or, Envato or all of those sorts of places. And we're sort of moving towards marketplaces on the blockchain, which fucking destroys the whole fucking point. But the good benefit with that is that you can actually trace that ownership back and you get paid royalties every time that transfers. Now, it's just funny because I just want to show you, I won't show you the whole one of this because it's just the first few bits, because just as you think that you understand crypto, okay, this is the funny thing, right? Is that, just as you think you understand Doge, just as you think you understand this coin, but you've also got to understand the individual fucking elements of each coin. Like with Ethereum, there's this thing called gas. And I was like, what the fuck is gas? It asked me, it's like, do you want to register your Taylor fucking like TLD? And I was like, yes, I do. And then I went to do it. And I went, how do I thought I understood. What's gas? And why am I being charged a lot? And all this stuff. And it's just funny because it's just question after it just becomes more and more complicated. But I just want to show you the opening bit. Because Rare is quite exciting, but marketplaces concern me, is my point.
NFT art from scratch. No coding needed. And this is becoming common in the crypto space. We see things that are complex simplified so that anyone can participate. We saw this with flash loans. Flash loans are very complex and require experience as a developer. But with the application through Combo, now anyone can participate in flash loans. We also saw this with yield farming, which also can be very complex. But now with You're in Finance, a person can deposit their money into. And
this is the bit that made us laugh. This was the bit that fucking cracked me out because it's like, here we go, how to create NFT art with like no coding experience using Rarible. And then he's like, here's all this assumed knowledge. We know about this, 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 we know about this. We don't know about this. I know none of it. And Paul and I were just fucking dying. It's like, oh fuck, now I've got more stuff I need to learn. This fucking, here we go, here's my joke. Bitcoin and blockchain had to be invented by the fucking Dutch. And you know why? Because you need a fuck ton of hash to understand it. Okay. Something like that. I don't even know if that's an original joke. I just thought of it.
And it automates the whole yield farming.
I don't even know if anyone's watching. I think most people gave up on
applications that simplify things.
I think they gave up around the mask.
Free. When using something like You're in Finance or Furu Combo, you still are risking losing your money. And surprisingly, even when you use Rarible, you are at risk of losing your money. And I'm going to explain why.
Sorry about that. I can't stream at 720p and upload and stuff at the same time on this connection. I've got to hardwire everything.
Scratch. Let's get to it. With no coding experience needed, let's create NFT art using Rarible. So we're going to go to rarible.com and we're going to connect our wallet in the upper right-hand corner. And there are a few different wallets that are accepted for Rarible, but we're going to use MetaMask. This is the wallet that I've used in all my videos, and this is typically the wallet that is accepted across most decentralized protocols. So we're going to give it permission to connect, and once it's connected, we can now interact in the Rarible marketplace. We can buy and sell NFT art, but we're here to create NFT art. So in the upper right-hand corner, it says create collectible. We're going to click that, and we're going to see we can either create a single collectible or multiple. So we can have a one of one rare, or we can make a multiple collectible. So let's do multiple. So we're going to do multiple and start from scratch, and it's going to say select an image, JPG, PNG, or a GIF. So you can use any file as long as it is a JPEG, PNG, or GIF. It could be a picture you took.
Anyway, so that explains that, sort of. Okay, I just wanted to say, it's like I got excited about this fucking thing. And it was just like, it's just funny because they just go, oh yeah, you know, we're all of these things. It's just like, I don't even understand the coins very well. And it's very humbling. It's very humbling for somebody who's been in tech. So who's this Anna Arcana person? Is this her? Why we can't accept cancel culture. Let's just watch this shit, eh? Okay, let's put this on. Let me do it at...
All right, Dana, so cancel culture is infiltrating everywhere, and it doesn't even...
The way of me making change
in this cancel culture
be as judgmental as possible about
culture in a nutshell.
Right, cancel culture, actually.
Cancel culture. Freedom of speech.
Problem with cancel culture.
Let's talk about cancel culture.
I'm going to assume you know that cancel culture is a form of a boycott involving an individual, usually a celebrity, who is deemed to have had problematic behavior or who has said something questionable and controversial.
Oops, sorry, hang on. I was just trying to put closed captions on.
I'll buy another one. Jump to 2010 when Lil Wayne referenced the film in a line from his song "I'm Single."
You know you're in the right
I'm
fucking
single. Had to
tribe
cancel
when
that
they'll
bitch like
actually
Nino.
like not
This
censor your
callback to the
swearing in
earlier
the
sexist
CCs.
cancel joke probably helped the phrase percolate for a while. And then, several decades later, gained massive popularity in 2018 and 2019, as evidenced by this Google Trends data. Of course, there are certain cancel people who absolutely deserve to be stripped of their power and made to pay the consequences of their actions. If you're a serial rapist, abuser, convicted pedophile, murderer, or someone who likes fucking cantaloupe, then you deserve to be canceled, and more importantly, probably serve jail time. Because if you actually enjoy cantaloupe, you should not be free to walk the streets. There's something incredibly wrong with you. What I do want to add to the cancel culture conversation are three things. One, how cancel gangster named Nino.
Let me go back, sorry.
Cancel culture is a form of a boycott involving an individual, usually a celebrity, who...
All right, Dana, so cancel culture is
start again. We'll just start again.
Everywhere.
I'll clip it out.
The way of me making change
In this cancel
is to be
culture.
as judgmental as possible
Cancel
about
culture
other
in a nutshell.
Cancel culture actually.
Cancel
Freedom of speech.
Problem with cancel culture.
Let's talk about cancel culture. I'm going to assume you know that cancel culture is a form of a boycott involving an individual, usually a celebrity, who is deemed to have had problematic behavior or who has said something questionable and controversial. There have been countless videos and numerous takes on why cancel culture itself has become problematic. The way that we judge an entire flawed, growing human being by one moment in time, taken out of that time's social context, thanks to social media and the internet. Ironically enough, cancel culture's origins apparently come from a misogynistic joke. Possibly the first reference to canceling someone comes with the 1991 film New Jack City, in which Wesley Snipes plays a gangster named Nino Brown. In one scene, after his girlfriend breaks down because of all the violence he's causing, he dumps her by saying, "Cancel that bitch, I'll buy another one." Jump to 2010 when Lil Wayne referenced the film in a line from his song "I'm Single." Yeah, I'm single, had to cancel that bitch like Nino. This callback to the earlier sexist cancel joke probably helped the phrase percolate for a while. And then, several decades later, gained massive popularity in 2018 and 2019, as evidenced by this Google Trends data. Of course, there are certain cancel people.
Hang on, can you just fill that up for me? Thank you. I'm still streaming. My water assistant. Water boy. Water boy! Okay, I'm just going to pause there for a minute. What the fuck? Okay, that's elite. First of all, I think that, well, Jesus Christ, these people, they could, I mean, that's the problem. It annoys me, okay? And I'm sure that I've made like strange leaps before and been wrong. So I'm going to just go easy on her and it's interesting. But, I mean, where's the evidence for this? Like, I thought that it was just a reference, well, first of all, a reference to being unpersoned, Orwell style. It's interesting. Actually, do you know what? I don't read, actually, I've got a new policy. I'm not actually going to, if something's not in a journal, like an actual journal, I'm not going to fucking read it anymore. It's not actual, like, and again, reputable journal. But it's just interesting where they trace that back and how the links that are made. So anyway, that's strange because it just, the memetics and the etymology of being cancelled, I thought that it came from a TV show being cancelled and then it sort of morphed and evolved from like being unpersoned, like 1984 with an Orwellian reference. But cancel that bit. What? Okay.
Deserve to be stripped of their power and made to pay the consequences of their actions. If you're a serial rapist, abuser, convicted pedophile, murderer, or someone who likes fucking cantaloupe, then you deserve to be canceled, and more importantly, probably serve jail time. Because if you actually enjoy cantaloupe, you should not be free to walk the streets, and there's something incredibly wrong with you. What I do want to add to the cancel culture conversation are three things. One, how cancel culture is weaponized against others. Two, how we weaponize cancel culture for ourselves, and 3, how we can actually fix this monster that we have created. Though cancel culture began with good intentions and undeniably has brought some predators to light, we're now witnessing the intentional weaponization of cancel culture against others. Some people use this to their own advantage, hurling accusations in order to get revenge for personal matters. If you're not familiar with the Tati Westbrook and James Charles drama, Westbrook insists her video...
Look, I don't know who this is. Correct me, Philip. But basically what she means is that cancel culture is not fun anymore because now it's taking me and my friends with me. Is that what's going on?
Calling James Charles out, a video that used language to insinuate that he was a sexual predator, was because Westbrook thought this was the only way
I'm curious to see her take on it. Is she woke?
And not because she was upset that he promoted vitamins that weren't hers. You can watch the hours of videos if you want that dissect this topic to all hell, but I can tell you, it was about the vitamins.
I like her practical lighting.
This weaponization of cancel culture is not exclusive to individual against individual. Fandoms rally against properties they aren't satisfied with, most notably the Sonic the Hedgehog film. Now, when the trailer came out in April of 2019, it was heavily roasted online and had a nearly 50% dislike ratio. And I mean, yeah, he looks horrifying. The reaction of the internet was not wrong here. I mean, he had human freaking teeth, for crying out loud. He's a creepy boy. But the Twitter outrage mob on Sonic was, according to The Hollywood Reporter, so immediate and loud that Paramount pushed the release date and had the VFX team redesign Sonic.
Okay, this is the bit... Okay. Maybe she addresses this further in. But according to The Hollywood Reporter is where the problem is. That's the problem. Twitter's gonna Twitter. That's it. All we need to do is just not act on it. It's the internet comment section. Who gives a fuck? And it's all bots. So who cares? That's okay. Anyway, again, I'm just saying
with an appearance
that's the answer right there.
It's hard to argue that this weaponization and power...
It's not this complicated. It's not a cultural... Wrong. It's only a cultural problem if the media make it a cultural problem.
Less creepy. I think we can all agree that the redesign is cuter and more approachable and feels less like a creature.
This is... Sonic the Hedgehog design is like the clownfish of fucking...
This is still weaponization. And in this case, things came seemingly
I should do more reaction
better, given that it set the record for the biggest opening weekend for a video game film in the United States and Canada, hauling an estimated 57 million.
I don't know who
I mean,
that
Sonic
person is.
ultimately ended up grossing over 319 million worldwide, and even with the redesign, the budget was about 95 million, so this entire debacle had a happy ending.
This is
but
such
I would
a
argue that it
silly,
sets a
superficial take.
Precedent. I mean, how much of a say should audiences have over creative choices?
None.
How many times have we seen movies canceled based on their trailers? Which, by the way, most filmmakers have no control over the way that their movie is marketed. Usually, it's at the discretion of the film distributor. And we all know how misleading trailers can be in order to get us to watch the movie. And though the Sonic incident turned out well, we've seen outrage mobs in other contexts, particularly academics. And these mobs have often succeeded in silencing professors, philosophers, and journalists. Take the case of Rebecca Tuval, who in 2017 published an article addressing the question of trans racialism, which was relevant at the time because of the news coverage of Rachel Dolezal, a white woman who claimed black identity. In the paper, Defense of Trans Racialism,
mention it?
Tuval examined the arguments used to defend a transgender identity and applied these to the question of trans racialism. This is a very common technique among philosophers, testing if reasoning used on one issue would apply equally to a different issue that appeared a close parallel. The negative social media response to Tuval's article, huge.
Yeah, and you ignore it.
500 signatures, which apparently was mostly signed by non-academics, was sent to the publication demanding that the article be retracted. And it was an unprecedented move. Now, the academic community itself largely supported Tuval, pointing out how several states...
See, this is... Okay, yes, she's made a really good point here, okay? And this is the problem with cancel culture in general, which is that, like, Twitter thinks they're above the fucking process and the rules. It's like, you know that thing, it's like, I'm going to get you charged with a hate crime. But, like, there's laws for that. And if you disagree with an academic article, guess what? There's a process for that. which is to write another article and write a response. And you go through the process. But that's hard and oppressive. I don't want to do work. So I'm just going to get all my friends to sign a petition. I think we just need to stop listening to fucking petitions. Problem goes away. Enforce the process. And if I find myself in that position, I will say, okay, if you've got a problem, hang on, my door just went. Yeah, hang on. One sec, I have to mute you. 1 minute. All right. Emergency. I have to go. All right. I think it's the end of the stream anyway. I'm going to go. It's gone too long. I'll stream again later in the week. Okay. I got to go. Sorry. Something's happened. Another thing. Okay. I got to deal with. All right. Bye. Stop.